Привет, and welcome to my channel RussianMatreshka, and this is my Russian alphabet series where I introduce you each letter of the Russian alphabet and 10 most frequently used words that start with that letter. And today I will introduce you letter Z, Russian буква Z. Are you ready? Let's go! As I mentioned before, the majority of Cyrillic letters are based on Greek letters, and Z is no exception. Russian letter Z is based on a Greek letter Zeta. And of course, to kick it off, I want to introduce you a few pronunciation rules for this Russian letter Z. In front of deaf consonants and at the end of words, Russian letter Z sounds like a Russian letter S. For example, in a word maz, that means cream, maz, you hear me say maz with ending letter S. Or сказка, сказка is a fairy tale, you hear me say сказка with the Russian letter S in the middle. And we have a few sounds that we call hissing letters in Russian. And they are zh, tse, che, sha, and sha. And every time you see a Russian letter Z in front of one of those hissing letters, Russian letter Z becomes just like one of those hissing letters. For example, низший, низший. Did you notice that Russian letter Z just became a Russian letter sha? Низший. Or без жены, без жены. Z became letter Z. That's so fascinating. Без жены. If you see a combination of letters Z, D, che or Z, che, we read it as double sha. For example, in this word, I read it as звёздчатый, double sha, or извозчик, double sha. Okay, so that's it for the pronunciation rules, and let's start our 10 most frequently used words that starts with the letter Z. And the first word for this lesson is preposition za. Za means for or behind. Let's look at some examples where za means for. For example, платить за хлеб, to pay for bread. Я за, I'm for it, or I'm in. Я за и против, pros and cons, за и против. Let's look at some examples where за means behind. Сидеть за столом, to sit behind a desk. I can make the whole lesson about this preposition za. We use it so frequently in Russian language and it has so many meanings, beyond a few meanings that I explained here today. So don't you worry, a lesson about this preposition za is coming to my channel RussianMatreshka. The second word for this lesson is знать. Знать means to know. And a few idioms for you to learn. Знать свое место. Знать свое место, to know your place. And it's identical to English expression. Or знать себе цену. That means to know your value. And here you go, знать, to know. Word number 3. Word number 3 is здесь. And a common phrase that we use all the time, and especially it's very popular right now. Здесь и сейчас. In English, you use only now to live in the now. But in Russian, we like to emphasize здесь, here. Жить здесь и сейчас. Здесь и сейчас. Word number 4. Word number 4 is земля. And земля means our planets. Планета Земля. Planet Earth. Or it also means just earth, the ground, soil. Целовать землю, which means to kiss the ground. It's another cool expression for you to learn. And word number 4 is значит. Значит means to mean. And it comes from an old Slavic word, znak, which means a sign. So, значит, since it's coming from a word znak, a sign, kind of means signify. Значит. So in English you have two variations, signify and to mean, and in Russian it's all in one. Значит. And word number 6 is заниматься. Заниматься means to occupy yourself or to engage in something. For example, we often say заниматься спортом. It's kind of the same as to say to work out. Or заниматься языком. Заниматься русским языком. To study Russian language. Word number 7. Word number 7 is зачем. Зачем is a marriage of two Russian words, за, that we just learned a few words ago, which means for, and чем. And чем is just a variation of a word что, which means what. So if you translate this to for what, but зачем when combined means what for. What for. Зачем. Word number 8. Word number 8 is Zastra. Zastra means tomorrow. I decided to do a little bit of research because I'm gonna give you a bonus word here. Завтрак means breakfast. And look at these two words. Завтра and завтрак are almost identical. So I wanted to get to the bottom of it. So why do they look so similar, yet they have two completely different meanings? Завтра means tomorrow and завтрак means breakfast. When I look into the etymology for the word завтра, завтра was за утро. Утро is morning in Russian and за is behind or after. So за утро is kind of after next morning. It does make sense for breakfast because there is a morning component in a word завтрак. Because back in the day, they said за утрак, за утрак. So завтра and завтрак was a combination of, again, this preposition за and утро, morning, slammed together, and we got завтра, tomorrow, and завтрак, breakfast. And a very interesting thing in English, there's the same thing that is happening. Let's look at the English word tomorrow. Tomorrow. Do you think there is a morning there? Oh yes! In Shakespeare, you can find good morrow. So back in the day, they used to call morning morrow. So fascinating how all these languages, Russian and English, are so similar and how these words are created identically the same. It's very fascinating to me. And the German word morgen stands for both tomorrow and morning. So they're not even playing any games, just using the same word for two meanings. Word number 9. Word number 9, a verb замечать or заметить. Никто не заметит. No one will notice. And word number 10, задача. Задача means a task or a problem. Трудная задача. Difficult task. Решить задачу. To solve a problem. And let's repeat one more time quickly with me all the words that we learned today. Word number 1, за. Word number 2, знать. Word number 3, здесь. Word number 4, земля. Word number 5, значить. Word number 6, заниматься. Word number 7, зачем. Word number 8, Zastra. Word number 9, замечать, заметить. And word number 10, the final word for today's lesson is задача. Задача. Thank you so much for watching and learning all these new words with me. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe and leave me some feedback. I'm actually dying to hear some feedback from you. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Are you ready for the next letter? I'm sure you are. Пока-пока-пока-пока!